Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com. Anime cyberpunk style meets skirmish combat in Infinity. Experience 8 high-tech factions and fight to control the human sphere at the Infinity Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hi everybody, welcome to What's in the Box. Today myself and John are having a look at some Team Yankee. So what have we got today, John?
This is a box for the newest, at this time, the newest book for Team Yankee, which is the Volksarmee.
Volksarmee, okay.
Yes, the People's Army. It's East German.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
these are T-55s.
Ooh!
These are T-55AM2s. Basically as high-tech as a T-55 ever got in its life.
Right.
So this
well,
is...
we are in Weird World War, so...
No, we're not. We're in World War III. There's nothing weird about it.
You know what I mean. We're in an alternate world war.
Alternate history.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a chance that this could be developed further within this game, or are they going to try and keep it sort of similar, do you think?
I really hope they just keep it the way it's going and the way, with real technology and stuff, and just keep that weird stuff to, everyone else.
Okay. Alright, well, first things first, get me a basic set out then.
Okay.
We'll get a look at some of the stat cards here.
So, 5 tanks in the box.
Yes.
And note that now straight away.
Okay, well, first thing I'm seeing here is we're getting some transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure how well you can see these on camera, but there they are there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, you can see those pretty well.
Yeah,
if I had them the right way up.
It's all your turret numbers and your, what looks like...
Little bits of symbology.
Yep. I'm just trying to find all the other bits here, so just give me a mo.
Oh, you're okay. I have things and stuff to show off. So we have the cards. Oh, these are shiny, shiny, shiny. There we go. So, that looks pretty decent for a tank.
Pretty decent for a tank that by this stage, by 1984, was practically outdated. This particular tank was on its last legs.
Yeah. Well, let's see. It's got a 100mm D10T gun, 32-inch range, halt-up firing 1, moving firing 1, anti-tank 17 is not bad.
Yeah.
And firepower 2+.
Yeah.
It's got laser rangefinder and slow firing. You've then got an AA for halted, you get 3 shots, moving you get 2, anti-tank 4, 5-up firepower, and then you've got the standard medium 7.62 machine gun. That's weird. So it only gets 1 shot halted or moving, and it's an MG.
With the machine gun? Let's have a
Yeah,
look.
that feels weird to me.
You start talking about parts, I'll start looking at this.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, actually true.
That looks a little weird for an MG, yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to be engaging a lot of infantry at this point anyway.
Well, so you've got the main hull.
Yep.
And the turret.
Yep.
It's that classic Battlefront resin, so you know it's going to work. You know how to deal with it. It looks pretty good. You've got the big oil drums on the back, which I always think is insane. Why have fuel outside a tank?
It's better. It's better burning outside of the tank than it is on the inside of the tank.
If it's inside, there's less chance of it burning.
If it's inside and it does burn,
yeah,
you're dead. But if it's burning on the outside, you can go. We can still fight for at least a few more seconds. We can get that last shot off and then get out.
All right. We then have metal components as well. So we've got the track, which are
typical T-55 track. Yep.
Yeah. A little bit of cleaning to be done, but that's just metal.
Yep.
You've then got the side skirts, which are absolutely fine.
Yep. They're sided as well.
Yep. You've then got fenders, turret hatches,
rear mudguard, and top machine gun.
Yep. So very, very simple build by the look of it.
It is, yeah.
You then have your little commander sprue with all your guys on it.
All wearing their little Russian tanker hats.
Yep. I actually quite like the look of the Russian tanker uniform.
Yeah, it's very basic.
Well, okay, let's be accurate. East German tanker uniform.
It's essentially the Russian.
Yeah, I know. Because of the way the world is, the Berlin Wall's still up, yeah, at this stage. I think they're quite nice.
Remember that this is the whole point of Team Yankee, is that the Russians have pushed across that line, and are into the west.
Yeah. Courage 3 up, morale 2 up, remount 4 up. Ugh. Just that 4 up remount's a bit of a pain.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll build it,
All right.
and then we'll wax lyrical.
Okay, everybody, we are back. John, you have the tank built.
I do.
Well, one of them.
Yep.
So, oh, you primed this one green.
I did, yeah. I thought, I've had enough of priming grey.
Yeah.
And there was a can of Yankee green there, so I was like, yeah, I know it's not NATO green, but, whatever.
Near enough. Near enough. I mean, like, the details do pop out once you have it actually built. All that work they've done along the top edges here to actually get all the kit on there, which is really nice. No log.
No log.
No, is that the log?
Is that the log at the back?
That might be the log. I think that's the log. I'm saying that's the log.
I think we found the log, guys. They're confirmed log.
Log confirmed. It's quite nice. It's a weighty little tank.
It is, yeah.
So, the stats on this thing are not amazing. So, can you sort of tell me how you're going to play this in game?
You are going to mass these things.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, pretty much like how the Russians play in Team Yankee. You mass your way to success.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I saw German and I thought we were going to see very sort of similar tactics to,
To the Leopard,
to the Leopards.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where it was low numbers, extreme effectiveness.
Yeah.
No, this is the other end of the spectrum.
Okay. Now I'm digging it now.
Bear in mind that this was the first proper main battle tank Russia put out after the Second World War and served from then. So it served from like the mid-1950s. Team Yankee set in the 1980s.
All right, so this is like a 30-year-old tank.
This is a 30-year-old design that is really at the end of its time.
Right.
Most battle tanks by then wouldn't even take a second look at it and be worried about it. They'd be like, it's a T-55. Bang, it's on fire. There we go, move on. So it didn't have the armor, didn't have the mobility. What it did have was numbers.
I see.
And if you really want a stat to scare you,
do
you remember how in the Second World War they built for about 50,000 T-34s?
No, it was more than that,
It was
wasn't
about 60.
Something like that, okay.
Something like that. 60,000 T-34s and about 48 to 50,000 Shermans.
Aye.
T-55 dwarfs that on its own.
Right.
T-55, there was somewhere in the region of 85,000 of them built.
What?
They were the primary battle tank for Russia and its allies for 30
they started
years.
selling these out to every other country they could under the sun?
Yeah, because once Russia had so much of Eastern Europe after the Second World War, they needed all these, this is why they did it, to make little buffer states. So like Estonia and Bulgaria.
So they just had little garrisons dotted all along it.
They had all these little countries, and these little countries had no armies after the Second World War because they practically didn't exist until Russia had them.
Yeah.
So they went, here you go, have an army, have an army, have an army. We now have a whole range of buffer states so that if NATO does come for us, they have to get through you guys first. But you guys aren't going to have the cream of the crop of the stuff. We will, but you can fight with this stuff.
Yeah, this is good enough. This is good enough.
Yeah, but these things are still in service. T-55s are still
today.
T-55s are still rolling around the Middle East.
Wow.
You see a little bit of an odd topic to bring up, the Syrian conflict. You still see the rebel forces using T-55s against the most modern version of the T-72 and T-90s.
Wow.
And you're like, but they're still there.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, testament to Russian engineering.
Yeah.
They build it to run. I mean, like, we've seen T-34s dragged out of bogs, flip back onto their tracks, and just, okay, fuel in, oil in, go.
We can tow it away, clean it down, stick some stuff into it, away it goes.
Yeah.
Now, because this is such an old design, it's not going to be great. But they did upgrade it for the later models, the last models of T-55. They upgraded as far as they could, so they retrofitted everything to them.
Okay, and this is the AM2 variant.
This is the AM2, so you have a laser rangefinder on it, which it never had. Now, talk of stabilization on the gun, I don't believe 55 was ever stabilized, so it still carries that lack of one, because there's no room in the turret to stick one.
Yeah, and this is kind of making sense why it has that slow rate of fire, that one on the move and one sat still, because it's an old school gun. You're having to lift and ram and it's very basic.
Yep, no autoloader in this thing, it's all manual.
Okay, numbers of units then.
Numbers of units.
So how many can we get in a unit?
Okay, so the biggest unit we can field with these guys at the minute is a Panzer Battalion.
Right.
A Panzer Battalion is made up of one HQ, which is a single tank.
Okay.
2 Panzer companies of these, and each company can have a maximum of 10 tanks.
Okay, so we're starting at 21 tanks.
So we're starting at 21. Then
How much?
21 at the moment. Hang on, let me see here. 1 point for the HQ.
Okay.
16 points twice for the companies.
Okay, so there's 32, 33.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
33 points.
That's cheap, cheap, cheap.
And if you think you haven't got enough tanks, you can add another 10 in for another 16 points.
Okay,
so you can
we're
run
up to 49.
Yeah,
I think if I'm doing math.
So running the Panzer Battalion, you're running 30 plus tanks, 31 tanks.
That's before you throw in any support pieces or stuff like that.
Any support pieces, which include, if you really want, you could maybe not put that third unit of these in, and you can actually chuck some T-72s into it, just for that heavier hit, that more reliable hit. Then you have BMP-1s, BTR-60s. You can have the Carnation artillery batteries in there too.
So basically, if you're already a Soviet player in this game, you can very easily just drift into the East Germans for a bit of fun.
Yeah, because you'll have so much of this stuff anyway. And I'm awfully tempted to take these and actually make a little East German army.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be quite tempted to do that.
Let's get one last little spin around the tank just so everybody can see it and see the details on it.
I'm also going to point out...
It's a charming little thing.
Yeah, I'm also going to point out a few changes that they made on T-55. So see these cheek pieces on either side of the turret, these sort of angular pieces? Those were added on. The laser rangefinder is the box on top of the gun barrel.
So here?
Yep, so that's the laser rangefinder.
Okay.
And yeah, they had to shift around a few other bits on the turret just to make room for some of the modifications they put on. But in essence, it's still the rugged little tank that it was back in the 50s.
See, it's like I said, Russians, whenever they build a vehicle, it's okay, vehicle is finished, let's go.
Yeah.
And it will keep going.
Yeah, don't need to put all that modern rubbish on it. Tank is fine.
It has tracks, it has turret, it has armor, it has gun. Go kill.
It's not the best at anything it has, but it's not the worst at anything it has.
See, this is the thing with every tank. You will never have the perfect tank. You know,
you're getting close with the new stuff, though.
They're having to balance everything out. They're always having to work off that triangle that we talk about. Anyway, guys, tell you what, drop your comments in below. Are you going to be dropping in and playing the East Germans in Team Yankee? Myself and John will move on here, and we'll see you in the next one.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.